Well, okay, we're going to go on to the next thing, which is you see the title there is what is the strength focused identity practice? And we've abbreviated that. We use the SFI practice just because it's less words to say. So that's what we're going to focus on right now. And there's two basic steps to build on yeah, for that. And Jennifer, what are you going to take the first step?
Yes, I will. But let me also say that strengths focused means focusing on your strengths and focusing less on your weaknesses. And that an identity practice is a practice undertaken to change how you see yourself. A practice is something you do repeatedly to get an outcome that has been deemed desirable. So just to say what to say that in a different way, what the strengths focused identity practice is not, we want to make clear, it's not advising you to push away your weaknesses. It's not advising you to push away your negative thoughts. What we think, and we'll give some evidence for this later, is that the human mind is kind of constructed or has evolved to put negativity first. It tends to think survival is very important, with which we agree, but it gets unbalanced as our point of view. And so we're saying balance intentionally with this positivity practice. So the two steps, and we'll talk about building on them later on, are step number one, articulate a positive moment. Let's get at this multisyllabic word, articulate. What does that mean? It means find the words for. There are a number of ways to find the words. You can find the words in the quiet of your own mind. You can speak the words to another or others. You can write the words in a journal, and you'll do all of those in this course. So articulate means find words for in any way. And what is a positive moment? A positive moment is a moment that stands out as being better than the usual moments that we experience. It's just a little bump in how we feel. And it could be a bump in any of the possible positive feelings, from joy to engagement to strength. Anything that's positive at all counts as a positive moment. And it doesn't have to even be super duper positive. It can be something as simple as hearing a bird tweet and feeling good. And you'll hear me talk about that more later on. So that's step number one. And when you do step number one, you are doing something to balance the effects of what we call the negativity bias in your mind. So as simple as it is, it's a very powerful practice all on its own, step one, but it gets even richer with step two. Gerald, will you tell us about step two?
I will. And I want to say a little bit more before I even go into step two, is that the idea of a practice is something that you do over and over again, and you just establish it as a part of your life, and you do it. And that the idea is that it's of both of these steps is that they're going to increase your positivity, but they're going to increase your positivity in two different ways. And so Jennifer just mentioned the first way was being aware of positive moments. And in those, when you're aware of positive moments, you feel good about it, and you're aware of positive, and it causes you to do more. The more aware you become of positive moments, the more you have them in later on. So it's building, and it's increasing your positivity just by that being aware of the moment when you're feeling positive. But what I'm going to talk about in step 2 is related to that, but it's different than it's also increasing your positivity, but it's doing it in a different way. And that different way is that as you think about yourself and who you are, and you have sort of an image of yourself as a person, and you think, and then when you think about positive things about yourself, you are, and you put them into words, that action, that process is you're changing the way you think about yourself, because you're articulating these words, positive words about yourself, and you're actually seeing yourself that way in a new way. So it's quite powerful in that it's increasing your positivity, but because you just see yourself, you just think of yourself in these new ways, in terms of these strengths. That's increasing your positivity, just like the first step where you just being aware of positive moments was increasing your positivity. So both of those steps are doing this in these two different ways, and it just happened to be connected to each other. That's the idea of it.
All right, so what we want you to do now is reflect on that last comment that Gerald made, that they're related, that there's a connection. And we want to invite you to think about whether you see that connection, or whether that connection is something you might learn to see. So for example, simple positive moment of walking around a corner and seeing a beautiful mountain view. That happens sometimes here in Portland, where Mount Hood is in the distance. When I see Mount Hood, I might feel one of two ways. I might feel, oh, I'm so lucky. The sky is clear and I just had a fortunate experience. Or I might include my strengths in that moment and think, I have the capacity to be open to beauty and to appreciate the scenery. And we think the truth is that you are part of your positive moments, that you have a causative effect on your positive moments, or causal. I'm sure causal, yeah. And we want you to think about that a little bit. Just see, am I buying what they're selling there? There's some space below the video for you to put your thoughts. Anything else, Gerald?
No, I think that we've got across the two ideas we wanted to get across. But let's go on to the next step after this.